welcome to the 1985 FM podcast. It's June 2nd, I think, 2014. I'm your host, Randy Luigi, and joining me this week, we have, let me see here if I can get the correct screen. We have Brendan O'Connell,
Hi, how's it going?
Jeremy Conrad,
Hello.
Lawrence Lawson,
Hello.
and that's what we got. Lawrence, you want to turn on your camera, sir?
My camera's off right now. I let my friend borrow it.
Oh, wow. Now we get to look at this cartoon.
Hey, he's a lot prettier than I am.
So how's everyone doing this week?
Doing well.
Doing well.
Everyone kind of getting excited for E3?
Yeah.
One more week.
One more week. Oh my gosh, Jeremy and I are going to be there. We're going to be among all the sweaty people trying to play games.
Bring lots of hand sanitizer.
Yeah, right. How many? What number is this for you, Conrad?
Oh God. Oh, I've kind of lost count. The first one I ever went to was 97, and I did 1 year in Atlanta, and then I would not go back to Atlanta because it was a nightmare. I've lost count. So many times I've gone. It's become a blur. I've gotten to the point though now, and this is kind of the nice thing, and you'll find this out. It's like when you're not with one of those big corporate game sites, you can do it at your own pace. You're not running around having to worry about too many booth appointments or any booth appointments if you didn't make any, and you could just see what you want, and usually you can actually see almost everything within 1 day a lot of times, which is nice if you have a long drive to and from E3 each day.
Yeah, as of right now, I don't think I have any like booth appointments that are like something that I need to go to. I mean, obviously, I want to see what Atlas is doing, and but I don't think they're even doing appointments. It's just kind of like a come by and check out the booth thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's obviously I want to check out 2K's booth because they have Evolve going on. I want to see what's going on with that.
I actually got the email on that tonight, actually. And yeah, they're doing appointments, but they also are doing just come on by, and they 2K is going to have Evolve, Borderlands, and Civilization.
I know one of the guys over at 2K, so hopefully we'll be able to get a decent booth tour and check out everything. But honestly,
Nice.
I really want to see Battlefront.
Yeah.
I hope
Yes.
I get to sit down and actually get to mess with it. Like that's one of the games, obviously, because for the two sites that you and I represent,
Mm-hmm.
it would be nice to actually get some Battlefront, sit down and actually play that. But,
You think we're gonna see 1313 come out of the grave?
No.
We're not going to see that. A lot of people are calling Conrad you're astroturfing. Is that the word on the street?
Yeah, there's a guy who was saying that if you're going to the Microsoft press conference, you're being astroturfed by Microsoft, and I'm like, everyone I know with a media badge is going. So is Microsoft, astroturfing everyone with a media badge?
Yes.
Everyone's going, but if you are going, then you have your money hat on. But yeah, so good to know. So that should be fun. Anything? We'll get into the E3 discussions later on in the show. Let's do kind of like what's been the news of the week here. Let's go on with the first story, and a few of us have been playing this, so it should be fun. We're talking Watch Dogs. Ubisoft reports that it is their record-setting game, selling more games at launch than any other game prior to this. So I guess it's safe to say we're probably going to see a sequel to it. I know a few of us have been playing it so far. What are our impressions early on so far with Watch Dogs, and what system are you playing it on?
I'm playing the Xbox One version, and I am in Act 2, so I finished the first act, and I'm finding that I'm playing it the same way I played Assassin's Creed 4. I mean, I'm kind of like doing, when I unlock a new area, I go and get all, it's very much like Assassin's Creed, where there's the sync points, and these are these C2S towers that you unlock, and once you unlock that, you are able to see all the side quest stuff in the area. So I run around, unlock that, and then I'll go do the campaign stuff, but also have all the side quest stuff, visible to me. So I'm playing a lot like Assassin's Creed right now, which I don't mind because I loved Assassin's Creed 4. It's just so I could see how people, if they're burned out on Assassin's Creed, this is just very similar, but in a more modern setting.
That's kind of become the staple of these games, having the in the open world like games where you have this one outpost that kind of expands you out to the rest of the world. It's become a common thing now, having that little feature in the in like the
Yeah.
kind of like mini game structure of it.
Well, it's mostly just Ubisoft games.
Yeah, and you know what?
Assassin's Creed, Far Cry,
Right,
this
right.
game. Yeah.
And you know, it's like Assassin's Creed 4. I mean, I put 90 hours into that game, and I kind of like the way they do it, in that you have the side quest missions are kind of not so much collectathons, but they're like filling bar type progress type stuff. But I don't so much
Right.
mind that because you can play at your own leisure, and that's a kind of open world game that I like, and that's why I like Watch Dogs, and I'm looking forward to the next Assassin's Creed because I like the style that Ubisoft does it. Now, like Grand Theft Auto, and people were kind of comparing this to Grand Theft Auto 5, but the thing that kind of bugs me about Grand Theft Auto 5 is the characters in Grand Theft Auto 5 in the story, they're all like the scum of the scumbags. I mean, they're the worst characters. And Watch Dogs is more of like a vigilante simulator as opposed to
Hmm.
a crime simulator. And I've seen people like, oh, it's not like Grand Theft Auto. I can't go blow everything up. It's like, well, that's not the type of game this is. And that's what I kind of like about it. It's not a crime simulator. It's kind of like, in a way, it's almost like Infamous, where you can be vigilante or you can be evil.
Right. The one
Right.
thing I will say about the big difference, not so much a difference with Grand Theft Auto 5, everyone in that world was completely abrasive to the point where it was like neat nails on a chalkboard. Like, listen, everyone's cussing at each other constantly, just everything's just foul language.
You haven't been in LA for very much, have you?
You go inside this game, and it turns out everyone's depraved. Like, every person you hack on their phone, they have like some secret thing they do behind closed doors. It's such like a weird, like voyeuristic kind of way to approach like information, I guess.
Have you guys run into hot coffee?
No.
There's a part where there's these CTOS kind of like strongholds that you have to break into and hack the main system to unlock monitoring in that sector of Chicago.
Hmm.
And there's one of them when you're hacking in, and you can pan around with the camera and hack into cameras in people's houses, and there's a hot coffee one kind of. It's very much like hot coffee in Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, right. Yeah, I did hear about
You're
that.
like, wait a second. I mean, they got an adults only for that in Grand Theft Auto, and they're getting away with it in this.
That's not all they got away with.
Yeah, I know.
Well, now I have to go find it.
This game.
That's great because it's like analyzing audio, and you're like, wait a second, I don't. And then you see it, and you're like, wait, that's great. That's hot coffee.
We talked a little bit last week about how this game fared against the expectations it set a couple years ago. Now that we've all kind of
Right.
sat down and played it, and I think we're all playing it for the most part on PC, maybe except Jeremy.
No, I'm playing console.
Oh, you're playing console. So what do you guys think? How do you think it holds up to the original stuff that we saw? Not as good, but I mean, is it to a point to where you're kind of disappointed at all?
I'm a little disappointed. It's just that, it's not even like so much of the visuals, honestly. The visuals were kind of like oof, like that's the first thing, just first impression. It's like dating like a blind date, and it's like, wow, your picture looks really good in your profile. And then you see in person, it's just like, you're not that bad, but you don't look like that.
Photoshop the original trailer.
Right, but it's not even pretty much, and it's not so much that. It's just that the open world stuff. I mean, I know you like it, Jeremy, but it's kind of burned out on it right now. It's nothing really innovative. It's kind of like the same things you're doing in most open world games these days. Chasing cars. Tail this guy, but don't get too close. And some of the hacking stuff in the game isn't really that intuitive or like interesting. It doesn't provide a lot of customization or like exploration. It's just press X to evade from cops, and that's pretty much it.
Well, no, there's other stuff you can do. It's like those big CTOS strongholds you go into, and even like the gang hideouts. The fun thing to do is you go in there and you hack the cameras, and there's always like these explosive panels or explosive stuff on the ground, and it's kind of like not so much, like, maybe a little bit like Spy versus Spy. You see how many of the guys you can wipe out without shooting first, then you go in and just clean up with your gun. And that's what's kind of fun is you're finding the different vantage points with the cameras, and then finding the environmental things you could kill the people with, kind of like Night Trap almost. And
Mhm.
and then you,
Right.
you could go in and shoot them and do it. And that's what those are the kind of like side things I've been doing, besides the campaign, just because it's kind of like a sandbox type thing. You're figuring out the best way to approach a situation, and
Right.
sometimes it's trial and error, but it's a lot of fun.
It's okay.
It's a funny.
I don't.
It's a funny day in video games when we're comparing a game's successes to that of Night Trap.
Yeah, there's a part I was like, oh, this. It's like I was going through the camera. I was like, you know what? This reminds me of like a real time Night Trap.
Not as good, but it's getting
We're
there.
releasing an HD version of Night Trap pretty soon.
I know. I'm super stoked for that.
Yeah. Wow.
But I mean, it's kind of weird. You have this weird like juxtaposition because like it's hacking, and the whole thing about hacking is it's open, but the hacking in the game is so linear, so it doesn't really feel like hacking. It just feels like pressing a button to open a door. And
Well, I mean, to be fair, at the speed that you need to make the decisions, it can't really be done in any other way. Especially like when you're in a car, it needs to be a one button situation because these things have to happen on the fly.
I just feel like why not both? I just feel like why not?
Lawrence wants it to have an in-game console where you have to write your own code and execute it.
No, I think I just want a mixture of both. I want something that it provides a little bit more like timing and a little bit more exploration, not as like linear as like you can only go through this set path of cameras in order to open up a door.
There are some timed things where you have to play like Pipe Dreams mini game to hack a system, and some of those are timed, and it's just a puzzle. It's Pipe Dreams, and you've got to do that within like a minute usually sometimes, or else alarm will go off. And
Yeah, but even that stuff is just like we've already been there before, and it's not providing anything new for me because I'm not really looking for next gen for only visuals. I'm looking for something that's going to give me different gameplay, and Watch Dogs didn't really give me that. It's like things that I've already seen and played before. There's no doubt that it's fun. It's just not mind-blowing like game of the year fun for me.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with Lawrence to a certain degree. I think that I was expecting a little bit more immersion from the world. I was like when we saw that original stuff, like the world looked like you get sucked into it so easily. And
Right.
I enjoy it, but I don't necessarily get that feeling that I expected to have when I play this game.
Yeah, and so as far as the visuals goes, I mean, it looks almost as good as Sleeping Dogs. So I just played that for the visual stuff. So I play both games at the same time, so I can feel like I'm playing Watch Dogs E3 2012. Because the
I will
lighting,
say though that intro sequence on Watch Dogs is amazing when you're at a Cubs stadium.
yeah, it actually was really cool. I really like that sequence.
Really cool sequence.
Right.
The whole doing the just outaging all the lights and sneaking.
Some of
out and you go
some of
through
the effects look really cool. Like the smoke effects and the particle effects look really, really cool. It's just not what we saw, and
it looks better in the rain and at night.
No, definitely.
but not as good as it showed.
No, not as good as it should, but it still looks really good at rain, especially the water on the ground and how the raindrops hit it and everything. That looks really, really good. I mean,
Right.
yeah, the E3 demo, there's like papers blowing in the wind.
There's
And,
shit flying all over the place.
yeah.
People
There's
look a lot
also
more animated.
a lot of tiny things that that do add to the game, like the fact that there are mobile games like the ones that you play, the shooting
Yeah.
one.
The AR games.
The AR games.
The AR games, those are kind of cool.
They really don't do anything for the most part, but and then
It's cool.
there's a Foursquare app, a virtual Foursquare.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
It's
virtual-
hilarious.
And you can actually get mayorship, and it's like
Yeah.
it's like on the console, it shows the person's gamer tag of who's the mayor of that location.
There's
Yeah.
almost too much.
Same on PC.
Too much stuff to do
Yeah.
in that game. It's ridiculous how much little side content there is. I wanted to shoot that guy who does the 3 balls in the cup game.
Oh yeah.
Fooling me. I wanted to just put him out of his misery. But yeah. So yeah, let's move on. I mean, we're gonna, I assume, play some more of that. Let's talk about
Right.
what a few of us have been playing, and surprisingly is turning the Wii U around. Let's talk about Mario Kart.
And Luigi's death stare.
Luigi's Death Stare, yes. Mario Kart reportedly brought Wii U sales up 666%. Coincidence on that number? I don't know. But
Yeah,
yeah,
probably.
Mario Kart 8 might actually be the first killer app for Nintendo's console. Jeremy and Brendan have been playing it. Guys, what do you think?
Well, it's definitely a system seller. I mean, you got really great multiplayer just locally. I mean, split screen's great, and then you have online multiplayer. You have a bunch of unlockables. You have, I mean, they actually did social sharing in the game. You can actually record your races and upload them to YouTube right from the game, and then share it to Facebook or Twitter right within. This is on the Nintendo console, and the tracks are awesome. There's a couple tracks, and I'm playing it, and it's like I'm serious. This is like F-Zero. It's like you almost don't miss F-Zero with some of these tracks. How they twist and they go in corkscrews and banking and everything, and it's just so good. And then of course Luigi is evil in the game,
Mhm.
absolutely evil.
Yeah, this has been
Sir, not evil.
that stare. I didn't even know about it. Like I saw people posting the video throughout the week. And then I actually looked at it today, and it's pretty funny. Someone want to explain what the
Yeah.
Luigi Death Stare is?
Basically, when the characters do head tracking, so when they pass each other, they'll look at each other, and when you throw a shell or a weapon with Luigi, he gets this just really angry look on his face, and as he's passing someone, he throws a shell or whatever, and he has this angry death stare on his face as he's staring down the person as he passes
Not
him,
even
and
anger. It's like the 100-yard stare. He's just kind of like looking through Bowser or whoever.
yeah.
At, just like burning a hole through their head.
Yeah, exactly. And it's absolutely hilarious, and it's becoming like this whole meme. And I think that's actually kind of helping the game because people are seeing it, and they're like, "That's awesome! I'm gonna go buy a Wii U with Mario Kart right now."
Definitely.
Image on screen. It's on the screen now. You can see the Luigi Death Stare. I'm gonna bring that up a little bit bigger so everyone can appreciate it. No, he's angry in that picture, and the music people have been setting to it's been freaking
It's
hilarious.
been badass. Oh man, it's pretty funny.
So Brandon, you've been playing it as well?
To be fair, I've only been playing the demo version of it, because it happens to exist where I work. But so I don't actually own a Wii U, but I've been playing it a lot.
Yeah, it's a value proposition. I like that.
Yeah, I love it. It's a lot of fun. I almost bought a Wii U just for this game yesterday, but I mean, honestly, now looking at it, I just said it's for this one game, but there's a lot that the Wii U has going for it, and I don't know. The more I think about it, I'm thinking maybe I should pick one up.
Well, that's kind of what I want to talk about. Now that this game's kind of turning it around for the system, and E3 is just right around the corner, and obviously Smash Brothers is coming out relatively soon, and they're
Right.
going to be announcing another Zelda game probably at E3. Do you
Mhm.
think this is next like year or two is going to be the Switch that can make it a system that maybe won't hit the numbers of like 100 million units or anything like that, but something that they can be proud of kind of salvaging the system?
Definitely.
Yeah,
It's
Nintendo.
possible, yeah.
Yeah, Nintendo always, like, Nintendo fans always want multiplayer games. I mean, Smash Brothers, of course, is huge, but Mario Kart's always really been big on multiplayer. And up to this point, yeah, they had Super Mario 3D World last year, which is great. 4 players, a lot of fun, but they really needed a really great competitive multiplayer game on the system. Mario 3D World was co-op multiplayer, and this type of game followed up by Smash Brothers. It's like a perfect 1-2 punch because you'll have people know Smash Brothers is coming out. I mean, you're going to be able to go to Best Buy at E3 week and play Smash Brothers. So people are going to know that's coming. And, when you go to Best Buy to play Smash Brothers, they're going to have the Mario Kart bundle sitting right there. And people are going to play Smash Brothers, and they'll buy the system right there with Mario Kart. So it's actually perfect timing for it. It's not going to become like, it's not going to dethrone the big HD consoles, but it's definitely going to be it's not going to be so much of a joke to people anymore. And I wouldn't be surprised if just based on Mario Kart and what I've seen is like when I picked up Mario Kart, the store I went to was actually sold out all the bundles, and they said people were buying the Wii U for the system for the game. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Wii U beat one of the next gen consoles in May or June MPDs.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think Mario Kart and those kind of brander games are something that, especially I think in the case of Xbox One right now, because they're in the mid position, it's something they can't necessarily compete with. They could very easily be overtaken in a month and be outsold by the Wii. Crazy enough.
Well, it's not too crazy. I mean, look at last generation.
I mean, for all the talk that we've talked about, like wanting like a next gen, like a hardcore gamers console. This isn't necessarily a hardcore game. This is just a fun game. And it's
Right.
not necessarily something that either system, PlayStation or Xbox, really, they have games that are very niche to hardcore gamers. But this is something that's a little bit more mainstream that everyone can kind of appreciate.
Right.
And everyone knows Mario Kart. I mean, it's a franchise that's been around since the Super NES, and it's something that, I mean, the Wii Mario Kart sold amazingly well. So it's like it's Nintendo's top franchise. And the funniest thing about this week is that Nintendo announced today that in its first weekend, Mario Kart sold 1.2 million units. The hilarious part about that is
they're only allowed to sell about 600,000 more.
Because Polygon did an article where they predicted that Mario Kart would be the lowest selling game in the franchise, and there's this little pie chart they did, and it projected the lifetime sales of Mario Kart 8 at being 1.26 million units.
Oh, so so that's what's going on. They only have like another week of sales. Maybe.
Yeah, they're gonna stop selling it tomorrow.
60,000, not 600. Yeah.
So the numbers for Mario Kart Wii is for North America is 15 million.
Yeah, that's insane. Well, you gotta.
Just in North America. Just in North America.
For the Wii U sold 100 million units, something like that. So there were a lot of people with Wiis.
And only 3.7 million in Japan, which is that's a huge difference.
Well, yeah,
so
I guess that's more of a testament to how important the console market is in North America as opposed to Japan.
Yep.
Yeah, right. It's all handhelds in Japan. That's
about like 3DS.
Right.
I mean,
that's the reason why they did Smash Brothers on both consoles. They did the 3DS version mostly for Japan and the console one for the US for the most part, because the 3DS one was still better there.
So and then they're actually going to be bringing out the USB converter for old school GameCube controllers for Smash Brothers. I think that's a really smart idea.
And not only that, it looks like they're going to be producing a Smash Brothers GameCube controller. So if you don't have all your GameCube controllers, you can still
buy a GameCube controller. Brand new.
I still have my Platinum GameCube with the Platinum controller, and I have 2 Wavebirds still. So I might just get one of those GameCube Smash Brothers controllers. Yeah. Although, if it supports the Pro Controller like every game is doing now, I'll just use a Pro Controller because the Pro Controller is great. I love Mario Kart with the Pro Controller.
I mean, I'm a huge Smash Brothers fan. I played like too many hours of that game, and I whenever I'm at conventions or anything, I always try to pick up like a brand new controller, because I always run mine to the ground. But recently, I've been playing Smash Brothers on my PC because I've been playing the Project M mod, and I don't have a Wii anymore. And I've been playing with a 360 pad, and I was like, it's just a matter of perspective. After a couple of weeks or whatever, or a couple matches, you kind of get used to it. And I was kind of thinking I was going to get used to just the Pro Controller. I heard it was really good, so this is good, but I don't know. I think I might just go with the Pro Controller and see how that goes first. And then it's like, well, I can't be bothered. Let me just buy that USB dongle.
Yeah, every game that uses Pro Controller, I use Pro Controller on because it's a great pad. I mean, it has weak rumble, but the battery life on it's insane, and it feels great in your hand. And like Mario Kart just is so great with that pad.
You'd think they would make more money on controllers if they just made a Smash Brothers Wii U controller, like a GameCube controller, but instead of being a regular GameCube controller, it had a USB port on the end of the cord.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Well,
they
no,
would.
because yeah, that's true, but they know that there are people out there that shit with their GameCube controllers that use it for Smash Brothers, and they
Like their controller. Like this is my baby.
yeah,
Okay.
it's like, especially like some of the competitive people, and they want those
Mhm.
people to be able to play on the Wii U, and the Wii U doesn't have the GameCube pads, GameCube ports. It can play Wii
Yeah,
games,
of
it just
course.
doesn't have the GameCube support. So
Yeah, I was just wondering if they would have like stepped on the tournament like market once more by just making an exclusive Wii U GameCube controller, where even competitors have to buy a brand new controller as well. And
I
there's
I think that would be working against what Nintendo wants to do right now.
actually
They want
it's
to keep more people
I've been
in.
really impressed about what they've been doing as far as the competitive scene. They really are opening it up with open arms. Like
Mhm.
welcoming it with open arms with the whole international tournament thing they're doing at E3. And it's like they had a trailer, and so it shows all like the pro players and everything. It's like, wow, they're just going for it, and that's awesome. Like I
Yeah,
don't.
no, you make an excellent point because Nintendo has, like, just in the last year, has done a 180 shift on how inclusionary they've been about the audience, be it
Right.
YouTube uploading, something that would not have happened a year ago. Now the inclusion of them being part of like a lot of these tournaments and actually like facilitating, fostering it. It's a lot different tone from Nintendo that we heard a year ago.
Yeah. I'm all about it. Even if they just like, I mean, they can be making so much money if they just welcome it with open arms. They can be hosting their own tournaments, and making a buttload of cash, you know. So I think this is the first step to it. If everyone goes to that international, or a lot of people, I'm sure this is be the good eye opener for them, seeing like, oh, you know what, we're gonna fuck with this. This is pretty cool. That's exactly what Miyamoto's gonna say.
That's
Literally
exactly
verbatim.
Miyamoto's words.
Verbatim.
Right. Let's fuck with this shit. See what happens. All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of the early announcements pre-E3 with new games. So stick with us. When we come back, we'll have more of the 1985 FM podcast.
I'll be right back.
Do we have outro music yet?
Outro music I do on the actual podcast, but not on the
Oh,
audio
okay.
podcast, but not on this nonsense.
Why not?
I don't know. I really don't know.
You need a soundboard.
Word.
It's crazy sound effects. Just like when we say bad jokes, like wow.
We're not going down that road.
Oh, Nathan will love it.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, I can make this. I can make this an app on my iPad, and then I can hook it up through that, and then oh yeah, this is happening. Randy, you have no say in this. This is happening.
It's awesome. I have no say in this. This is great. Go wrong.
Oh man, the site looks so good, dude. I'm
Get in
super
there,
stoked.
man. Definitely get in. We're pretty much done.
What else do I need to do?
We'll talk about it after the show, but I don't think there's really that much. We're pretty much there. I just need to update the info pages and stuff like that.
Okay.
I've done a lot of crap.
I kind of did that. I split it into 3 different pages, so now we have links at the bottom of the site that are the contacts, about, and write for us.
Mm-hmm.
There are actually 3 different pages now. There's now the team,
Right.
contact, and write for us,
Okay.
and about. So there's 4. Yeah.
I see. Just gotta switch a couple things here. Next up, we're talking.
I need to get a fighting pad for Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to. That's where we're at right now.
Nah, you need to make one.
Ultra, huh?
I need to make one. That would be actually a lot more fun. Huh?
Are you about playing Ultra?
Yeah, I'm playing on a PC because they removed the games from Windows Live. thing for it. So yeah, it's now on Steamworks, and I mean it's the same fucking game, but I have to bypass all that, like sign in to 3 different places in order to play the game. Bullshit anymore, which is very, very nice.
Controller, man, that's where it's at.
How much does that cost? How much does that run?
If you do most of it DIY, it'll probably the big thing is getting the body for it, the body that you want to use.
Yeah.
That's what's going to cost you the most, because you're probably better off just buying an old joystick that has the body you like, and then refurbing the parts. Probably you could do it for about 120.
Oh, it's not that bad at all.
It's not that bad. It's really that you want to get like Sanwa parts, and getting Sanwa parts is what really costs the most. It's like $25 for the stick, about $4 per button, and then the labor. I mean, you kind of just eat that. Obviously, it just takes you about maybe 2 hours to install it, and if you want to do custom graphics on it and all that.
I would like to do like a cool, like interesting case for it. I'm not sure, like what, like make it out of a old fat PS3 case.
Yeah, right.
That'd be really cool. I don't know. I was thinking like maybe like a little combo amp, but I was like, I don't know if I want to tear apart my orange amp for it.
Yeah, or if you want to have that on your lap all the time.
Yeah, exactly. That was the first thing. It's like, I don't know if I want to have that on my lap, but it'd be kind of cool. Like,
things that I never did that I always wanted to do with my controllers is figure out a weighted setup so I can give it more, make it heavier to sit on tables without moving around while I play.
Yeah.
I want to really want to get like a weighted setup.
Nah, suction cups.
Does not fucking work. It's not the same.
I want something where it's easy to kind of move it around.
Magnets?
Clean wherever.
Magnets? Magnets always work.
I still don't know how they work, but they do.
But they always work.
Ask the insane clown posse. No one knows.
I should have an ICP design on my fighting stick. Coolest guy in town.
Juggalo Juggles.
You just got juggaloed.
You got juggaloed. Magnets, how they work. I don't want no fucking scientists telling me I'm going.
Oh man, I just can't do.
I almost died when they referenced that in Lost.
Did they really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
They had that. Well, it wasn't. They didn't really say it, but there was a part where like someone used a magnet and they didn't know really, magnets, how they work, and it was they did something really stupid with the magnet. It was in like the last season, I think.
Yeah.
It was the smoke monster guy when he became the human or whatever.
Right.
There was a part with a magnet and they did something stupid. It's like, don't you know how magnets work?
Oh, that's awesome. To the best music video ever.
There was also a WoW quest where they did that. Magnets, how do they work?
Oh, that's awesome.
Love it.
They also did a cowbell quest. Needs more cowbell.
Oh God. Dashboard. Let's see. Post it in there. It looks. I quickly glanced at the title of our podcast, and I was like, "We're selling our podcast for $84.99."
99999.
99999.
Lawrence, I just saw your last comment in the chat.
Oh yeah. She is. The funny part about it is I don't know any of her music, but I watch her music videos with the YouTube button muted. And it's just like, okay.
I can get into this.
I can get into this. Let's see if Jeremy's on 4chan again.
No! Still getting followers from that, or from the gaff thing.
Don't even be mad, who cares? It's fucking 4chan is. I don't even know why I so lurk on here anymore. Like it's not even funny. It's like
I've been
it's
gradually, I look on GAF a lot, but I've been gradually going more over to the comic book resources forums because they get stuff like GAF thinks the world revolves around them, but it's no, it's like there's stuff. It's
their motto.
Yeah, if we're like, no, it's like they get stuff later. It's like someone posts something on the comic book resources forum, and I'm like, I look at GAF, it's like, wow, it's still not there. Wow, it's still not there. It's like Rob Liefeld's being a retard again. It's still not on GAF. Oh, now it is.
Check.
So, predictions
How
for
do you think
Microsoft's
inside
third-party
the,
exclusive?
Inside the show said that it was.
I kind of know what it might be. I can't say
So
anything.
your mic was low.
Yeah, I mean on the recording level it's fine, but
Yeah, I can't.
That's what I thought.
I
Justin
can't
here
talk
now.
much about that third-party thing. But that is why I think Microsoft's going to win E3, just because they're coming. Okay, I described it to someone like this: Microsoft is a cornered Wolverine, and they're coming out rabid at E3 because they have to, and they dropped some Brinks trucks to get certain things.
check.
And that's definitely not an
Still kinda
X-Men
low.
reference.
No, they backed up some
No?
Brinks trucks.
Oh, I thought I was talking about the Wolverine thing you said earlier.
No, they're a cornered animal, and they're coming out swinging.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
there's been some Brinks trucks backed up to certain publishers. It's not EA.
Sure, it's not.
No. EA is like the PlayStation press conference. You know how they're showing it in theaters. The people who are going to that are getting Battlefield Hardline beta codes.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
So EA's kind of like siding more with Sony now because of the whole Titanfall flop.
Still not as bad as Ubisoft giving journalists free Nexus 7s.
How's my mic now?
For
Is it
Watch
better?
Dogs.
It's
It sounds good, but
I
you're
have to
still
turn it down on my side. But
It's still low.
no, it's
No,
loud.
Okay, it's better.
Okay.
Talk again?
All right.
Oh
Cool.
yeah, you're way better.
Someone
Yes.
talk a little bit.
Talking.
Talking.
Okay. Okie doke.
You guys sound.
I would love a
amazing.
Dragon's Dogma too.
I just want something free from our Xbox press conference.
Hey, they asked for gamer tag.
tags, yeah. Give us that free stuff. Give me 3 more Xbox Ones.
And you know what? I'm actually looking forward to going to that more than E3 because I'm not going to hit that much traffic going there because it's at USC. It's not
Where are you coming from?
Riverside, so I just take the 60 straight there.
Oh, okay.
Don't tell everyone where you live.
No, the mic's not on. No
Mic's
one
not
can
on.
hear him.
Okay.
No one can hear him.
So yeah, I just take the 60 straight there, and it's just at USC. Whereas Tuesday, it's downtown LA. Figueroa.
Yeah.
Oh God, I have to take the 10 through like Covina. Like
Yeah.
I
just have
don't
to
want the car to break down in Covina.
I think we're gonna get a hotel over there, so we don't have to drive back and forth.
Good luck with that.
Already got
Hotels are gone.
I already got one.
Oh, you did?
Oh,
Yeah.
you have good luck with that.
It's a
Is what I
shitty
meant to
hotel.
say.
It's a shitty hotel, but it's only like $85 a night. Like really crappy, but it's close as hell to the place, and yeah.
You're gonna
only-
get stabbed.
Probably. So Jeremy, if you want to stay over at the hotel so I don't get stabbed, you're more than
Yeah.
welcome. I
You're
can
gonna
use
get
more bodies.
Stabbed by bed bugs that have AIDS.
Well, I'm
Bed
gonna
bugs
stand-
of
I'm gonna
AIDS.
sleep standing up, so it'll be all right.
Well, I think it was. It may have been last year's E3. Not last year's E3. It was like 2010, and I remember I was there late at night. It might have been. It could have been E3. It might have been. I was downtown LA for some reason. It must have been E3. My car was like on fumes, so I had it.
There's
Had to
no
go-
other reason to be in downtown LA.
Well, I went. And I had to get gas, and it was like the probably the scariest gas station you would ever see.
Great.
Right near the convention center.
That's gonna be great to die at E3.
So people are talking on the chat. Prince of Persia, Season 2 of Killer Instinct,
Yeah, well, there's some of that stuff that's already been kind of
Crackdown
confirmed on
3.
Twitch.
Phantom Dust.
Crackdown's
Dust.
not next year. That's the thing. Crackdown's 2016.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Rise
we do
2?
this.
I don't think so.
No, we're not going to see Rise 2 yet. We might see a Crytek game, but
We might see Rise
there-
HD re-release.
we already see Homefront, obviously.
Well, Crytek's game is going to be what did they...
Homefront. Homefront, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
I said, like people are thinking that Homefront was going to be the Microsoft third-party exclusive, and I'm like, if they did that, everyone in that press conference will fall out of their chair laughing. It's like,
Right.
That's your big gun.
Homefront, wow.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back into this.
All right.
All right, that's not it. That's it. There we go. Somebody talk.
Talking.
There
Your
we
picture's
go.
still not up though.
No, I'm using a different cam setup right now for Twitch.
Oh, okay.
Because the other one was like zoomed in really funny. It was strange.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and let me press record so we can actually have an audio version of this show.
No, we're not doing that anymore.
Thanks to whoever sent me a message on Twitter telling me my mic was too low. I fixed it, I think. We'll find out. All right, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We're going to talk about some of the games that have been announced today and over the past week. So if you have any questions about those games, any predictions as far as what's going to be revealed at E3, we're definitely going to talk about that today. So here we go.
Sweet.
All right, and we are back, and we are talking about some of the releases that have come out this week. Let's start off with one of the first ones. I think this is Jeremy's favorite. Let's talk about Homefront, the Revolution. Crytek.
There's the next gen title we were all looking for.
Killer app.
Everyone's like, where is Homefront? After the THQ acquisition, Crytek bought Homefront, and yeah, so this is set 4 years after the original. The trailer that they showed was supposedly in-game engine. I mean, I doubt very much that the game's going to look nearly as polished as it does in the trailer.
Yeah, well, actually, I disagree. I looked at the trailer and I'm like, that's entirely possible. I mean, obviously that'd be the PC footage, but there was nothing really in terms of effects and graphics going on that current, especially Crytek's engine, couldn't really pull off.
You don't think so?
No, obviously it's all scripted and everything, but
Yeah.
You can tell that's in-game. You can tell that was using the in-game engine. I mean, like even some of the CryEngine 3 tech demos looked a little bit better than that.
Yeah, there definitely is something to be said for having scripted events as opposed to actual, like real time things happening. Is anyone particularly? I mean, this honestly, I mean, good for them. I'm glad that they picked up this and kept this game going. But is anyone particularly excited for Homefront? I've never really honestly been a fan.
I am super pumped. No, I'm not.
Oh my gosh.
Nah. Not excited at all.
All right,
Next
let's
game.
move on. Let's move on to something that we actually care about. Let's talk. This one I am particularly excited about. Mortal Kombat 10.
Mortal Kombat motherfucking 10.
But okay, here's the thing. It's like Crytek showed in-game for Homefront, and we get a CG trailer for Mortal Kombat. I mean, can we stop CG trailers?
Please,
Yeah,
please,
I mean,
please, can we stop
I
CG
see
trailers?
what you guys are saying, and I understand there's been a lot of, ever since this trailer came out today, and a lot of people talking about how these trailers aren't really giving us any information. I understand, yeah, but this is, like, to me, like, this is Mortal Kombat 10. This is kind of like their victory lap. It's almost like a anniversary for them in a way. And there is stuff to be said about what was shown in the trailer. There is stuff that is indicative of what's going to be in the game. I mean, obviously they were saying that some of the features from the original game are going to be back, and environmental things are going to be added into the game. I mean, that is pretty much shown in the trailer. That's something, if you look at Injustice, you can tell that is something they're going towards, and environmental things are going to be in this Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
But I understand that it's not indicative of the actual engine that they're running, and they say they are running a new engine. But well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about our feelings towards having these trailers kind of represent the game right at the gate.
Well, no, it's like these days the games look good enough that you don't need to do a CG trailer. I mean, graphics are pretty much to the point of CG now. You don't have to do that. You could just show the game and it'll be impressive enough. But it's like these, like Blur Studios and a couple of these other CG places, they got to pay the bills, so they get these contracts to make these CG trailers. And I guess marketing loves them, but I mean, it's just show us the game. And we'll see the game next week at E3. It's just I hate these CG announced trailers now.
I do too. I mean, that's how I felt with the Arkham Knight trailer they released. Everyone was just like, "Oh my God, this is the best thing since sliced bread." It's like, yeah, but you saw nothing. You know, the latest trailer showed a little bit of gameplay footage, and it looked really good. You know, it's like, just show me more of that, please, and I'm on board. I'm on board already, but I would like you to be a little more honest about, you know, what you're showing, because it just seems very like, okay, I already know the game. I already know the gimmick at this point. I'm not like fazed by these CG trailers anymore. Blur Studios does excellent work, you know, but they're not doing me any service by showing me some really cool like 1-minute movies.
What's interesting about this footage is that they kind of
Did we lose Brendan?
Did we lose Brendan? Is he dead?
No, he's still here, but he's muted or something.
But in a CG version rather than, you know, actual gameplay. Why would they do something so similar to what the actual gameplay is going to be and not do gameplay?
Yeah, I know.
Makes sense.
I mean, they did the X-ray thing. They did, you know, and they moved the camera side by side, and like, oh, they're trying to make it look like the game, but it's CG, and it's like, we're gonna see the game next week. Just show the gameplay, and that's all people need to see. It's Mortal Kombat. You don't need to sell the masses on Mortal Kombat with a cool CG trailer because it's Mortal Kombat. I mean, if this was like a brand new IP or something, yeah, you might want to try to sell them that way, but it's the 10th game of Mortal Kombat. Just show us the game. People will go nuts. They'll be excited, and they'll go and buy it.
Or if they are going to do CG, they could have at least been a little more creative with it.
Right.
Rather than that. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I've always been of the mind in these last like couple of years, like covering games, that I've took like a different look at how like marketing games isn't even really about showing the game. It's selling people on the idea of a game, and for worse or better, that's what it is. I mean, we take a look at BioShock Infinite. Look at the trailers for BioShock Infinite. Never really showed gameplay. All I remember is Elizabeth falling, roses falling out of her hands, all this stuff, and you know, the theme song. It never, and then the cover. The cover was like, it's all about selling this idea, like from the covers to the trailers. They're never indicative of the game. They never show gameplay. The only time you see gameplay is once you buy the game and actually put it in. Otherwise, they're kind of selling you on this idea of what the game is supposed to be, and that's what people are buying into. And I think that's a lot of the mentality that goes into trailers.
These trailers aren't for us, almost. You know, they're for people who are kind of tricked into. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there. It's like, wow, that looks awesome. I'm sure it's gonna look like that when I buy it. And then when
I think tricked makes it seem a little bit more nefarious than it is. I think it is marketing, and it is not necessarily trying to dupe people, but it's trying to plant this idea in their head, and maybe that is a little nefarious. I don't know, but yeah, I think that the less savvy may actually believe that this is actual gameplay they're looking at. But yeah, I don't know. Do you guys think that it's a kind of a bait and switch kind of thing?
I don't think it's bait and switch. It's just another example of, you know, this time of year, E3, marketing runs the show for things. Because, give you an example. Earlier today, I think it's probably already pulled from YouTube, some footage from the Battlefield Hardline beta leaked out. Yeah. And it's basically a guy loading into a map. It took him like 10 minutes to load in the map, but loading into a map and running around playing with the weapons and vehicles. And I'm watching that. I'm like, you know what? I'm thinking, it's like, you know, the dev team isn't probably that pissed about someone doing that. They're probably like, oh, cool, someone's playing it. Who's pissed about that is marketing, because they're spending right now all this time and money to craft a real slick cinematic trailer to sell people the game, and some guy has video on YouTube of him playing the game before they've even done that. And I think it's just that marketing, I've always felt, and especially the last few years, have started to have too much power in the gaming industry, so much so that they start doing focus groups on games. That's why indie games are starting to become so big, because a lot of AAAs, you get all these, you know, they get homogenized where people aren't going to play this unless the guy looks like a bald space marine, or you know, they're not going to play this game unless we have multiplayer in it. It's like, but it's a point and click adventure game. It's like, oh, but it has to have multiplayer. It's on this bulleted list of what sells. So, and I think a CG trailer's on there. It's like you have to announce it with a CG trailer, and then you show a gameplay trailer, and then you do a big reveal of multiplayer 6 months later. It's just a marketing thing, and it feels slimy almost.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. I pulled up right now the video that you're talking about. I downloaded it earlier because I was afraid it would actually get taken off the internet. So I'm running it in while we're actually talking about this. But yeah, let's talk about Battlefield Hardline a little bit. Someone want to get this started while I set this up visually?
I don't know much about it.
Okay, Hardline is this year's Battlefield game. It's being developed by Visceral Games, which is EA Redwood Shores up actually here in California. Normally Battlefield's done by DICE in Sweden. Visceral did the Dead Space games, and they're currently also doing Amy Hennig's Star Wars game. So it's basically, it looks a lot like a Battlefield 4 expansion. It's cops and robbers, though. So you have the SWAT team and the robbers, and they're robbing banks, and you go in with the SWAT team and kill people. What's going on now is Sony, at their E3 press conference, the people who are going to view that in the movie theaters are getting beta codes for a Battleline Hardline beta. So a guy, I guess, got his hands on the PC beta, and what this video we're showing right now is he loaded up the demo, and it took forever to load in, and you get, I guess, 1 or 2 maps and 2 modes to play this demo, and it looks crude, but it looks a lot like a Battlefield 4 expansion pack more than a whole new game.
Yeah, definitely. And just judging, I can see why they didn't want this to come out. In just the short time we've been talking about this, the game is still loading. It's been about like a minute and a half. I mean, obviously,
I watched the video. I had to fast forward a little bit through the video just to find when it loaded in.
Yeah, I was looking at like the thumbnails on. I'm like, dude, when does this thing start? Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of a Payday, I guess, in a little bit of a way, but I mean, on a lot larger scope.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to it because it's a really cool concept to do a cops and robbers type thing, and as long as it's stable and it doesn't crash when you load it, because when I saw this video, I immediately thought it was fake because it didn't. It's a PC version of Battlefield that didn't crash when you loaded the client.
Right.
Oh,
like this can't be right. There's
something wrong here. It's obviously CG.
I'm confused though. Weren't they like not going to work on any other new games before Battlefield 4 was fixed?
That's DICE. That was DICE. This is Visceral, so this is a different thing.
Oh.
Yeah, so obviously I thought it was all hands on deck, but I guess Battlefield 4, either Battlefield 4 is done.
No. Battlefield 4, they're doing public testing now.
Oh, good, it's in testing.
Yeah, it's back in testing. I mean, it came out, it launched, and now it's back in testing. They're actually letting people sign up for this public test server they have. I'm like,
awesome.
The game's only been out for 6 months.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Post beta.
Yeah. I don't even know what they call that anymore. That's just basically Battlefield got greenlit for a launch.
And when you buy Battlefield Hardline, you actually get a code to get back into beta for Battlefield 4.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this week the physical Battlefield 4 PC version was on sale for $20 on Amazon, and I'm looking at them like, not even for $20.
No, not even for $20, man. It's just not worth it. And I just want to say for the audio listeners, Battlefield Hardline is still loading. Still loading. Yeah. Oh wait. Oh no, I take that back. It has now actually started.
It looks as good as Battlefield 4 did. So it's the same engine. I mean, it's like a skin for Battlefield 4. And still, it's going to be a full price game. I love this map they're showing. This is downtown LA. So like, oh, that's a cool place to go and start shooting things up because you can't really do that in real life. So yeah, you can go shoot.
Last time I checked, they do frown upon that. That is true.
Yeah,
that is true.
Unless it's a riot or something, but it's a downtown LA map.
So but they released leaked a whole entire trailer that was about a 7-minute just kind of like breakthrough of like what they were trying to do with the game.
Yeah, and the main character looked like Phil Spencer.
Yeah, didn't he? Kind of weird, huh?
It's like, wow, what's Phil Spencer doing in Battlefield?
Maybe Phil Spencer. That was his first act as head of Xbox. He's gonna start, featuring himself in some games.
We need to make money somehow.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next up we go. Okay, Forza Horizon 2. Let's talk about it.
Another NT kernel prediction has come true.
I know, weird, huh? Almost like everything kind of fell into place. We're just waiting for that anniversary Halo, and I think we pretty much have everything sealed.
Yep.
That's
Uncontrolled leaks via proxy.
But yeah, that's happening. It's going to be using the same engine as Forza 5, and they're going to have actually two different developers working on it, which I thought was kind of interesting. One with Playground Games working on the Xbox One version, and Sumo Digital working for the Xbox 360.
This is something that, it was announced this morning, and immediately you see people freaking out. Oh, it's cross-gen. Screw that game. I don't want to play. It's going to be... You know what? You have to deal with it. There's going to be cross-gen games for the next 5 years.
Yeah, especially at least this early inside the cycle.
Yeah, you're not going to see cross-gen games go away for a long time because there are still more PS3s and the Xbox 360s out there than the next-gen systems, and they're not going to throw away money and alienate all those people. Sure, they want them to upgrade, but no, they're still going to make these games. And as long as they have a different developer, you're going to see that a lot more. You're going to see a separate developer doing the older version. And it's not like they develop it for the low end and it's an HD upgrade. I saw some people saying that. I'm like, no, you're an idiot. They develop it for next gen and they poured it down. It's just like multi-platform titles. Call of Duty, the lead platform. There's a controversy. The lead platform is on Call of Duty this year is the PS4, but they have a marketing deal with the Xbox, with Microsoft, so you see Microsoft. But they make the more powerful platform the lead platform because then they could port it down to the other one. Same thing with cross-gen titles. They make the next-gen one the lead, and then they port it down to the previous generations.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, considering the install bases of the previous generation, it's hard to believe that you wouldn't be seeing cross-platform games handled in this way. That's why I'm honestly kind of surprised that we're seeing Arkham Knight be a next-gen only game, which excites me. I'm glad it's happening, but very few developers or publishers, for that matter, would be willing to do that.
Well, one thing that the past-gen consoles are going to be moving into is you'll see price drops probably from at E3, both of them, and they're going to be moving more into the kids systems. So, like this year, they get a new Lego Batman game instead of Arkham Origin because it's going to start transitioning more into the kid family box,
like the true family system.
Exactly. That's what happens with every system when the next gen one comes out.
Mm.
So, what do you guys think? What do you think the price point becomes? Like an $80 system?
You're going to see, well, no, the Xbox One and the PS4 will be $199 most likely at E3. They did that at Black Friday, and then that'll probably be the permanent price at E3 this year.
What are they at right now, like $250?
$250. Well, there's a $199 PS3 that's the 12 gig version, but the one with the bigger hard drive is like $249 or $300. Xbox One right now is Xbox 360 is $249. They'll do $50 price drops to give them down to $199. There's also rumors of a new PS3 model.
Why?
Make it even smaller, even smaller chips for a cheaper system.
Slimmest.
Yeah.
If it's super small, okay, that's cool. But if it's just like a little bit thinner, like please just stop. I'm putting R&D in this bullshit.
Sliding doors. Everything slides to the side.
Oh God, I don't know. I didn't like the recent, the newest version of it.
I'm glad I have the regular Slim, and I like that.
Yeah, the regular one Slim was top tier. That was really cool. But the newest one, it felt cheap to me. I don't know. People said it wasn't. I believe them. You know, it just looked and felt cheap.
I don't like top-loading disk drives. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had it in the house for a little while, and it kind of had that cool like retro vibe to it almost in a way, but
kind of
really,
but not on purpose.
No, not like this is an homage. This is like, no, we need to save some money.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think that, like, you know, if these cross gen games, what if they were able to lower the fidelity of the graphics but have higher frame rate on the lower last gen, and then have higher fidelity graphics on the current gen, but have lower frame rate? You think people will go for the ones with the lower frame rate or the higher frame rate when it comes to, like, you know, certain games? Is the games better?
I don't know. Like on Forza Horizon 2, there'll probably be people who want the 360 version because there will be no drive-atars in it.
Right.
In the 360 one.
No crazy maniac drive-atards.
No drive-atars.
Drive-atards. Yeah, definitely. All right, this one I know Lawrence is particularly excited about. This isn't a E3 announcement per se, but it was a discussion about 30 frames per second versus 60 frames per second. I heard you talking about before the show how you want to talk about this. So Lawrence, please.
Oh yeah, so Ready at Dawn Studio, Ready at Dawn, the developers of the Order 1886 or 1866, I can't remember.
1886, yeah.
Yeah.
1776, I believe it is.
1776. The lead designer, I can't remember his name, Dan Lin. I didn't put it down, unfortunately. He went on to say to Kotaku that they didn't do 60 FPS because they wanted to have a cinematic feel to the game, which it makes no fucking sense to me. So
why not hard lock it at 24 frames?
Because it doesn't play well, apparently, which is objectively true. So the quote is, if you push to 60, you have the way you would have it look the way we do, but it would actually end up looking like something on a Discovery Channel, like an HD kind of segment or a sci-fi original movie maybe, which doesn't quite have the same look or texture that you want from a movie. The escapism that you get from a cinematic film image is totally different than what you get from a television framing. So that was something that we took into consideration.
Newsflash, it's not a movie.
Yes, please, thank you.
It's like David Cage. Like, I am making movies. No, you're making crappy video games.
Wow. I have a feeling that there was like inside they're like we can't reach 60 frames a second. Some guys, it looks kind of like a movie when we keep it at 30. Go with that. Go with that.
Well, it's a Sony exclusive, so they got it. And Sony's whole big thing is 1080p 60 FPS. They're not getting 60 FPS, so they have to find a way to spin this whatever they see. And it's totally understandable if they can't get 60 FPS, because the hardware is fucking old. But don't try to lie and try to trick gamers into thinking that this is the way that it's supposed to look. Your eye can only see, past 30 frames per second because eyes don't fucking work that way.
I love that kind of excuse that the eyes can't see. I've played plenty of 60 frame games and I've played plenty of 30 frame games. I can certainly tell the difference. As anyone who plays video games.
I've been playing Mario Kart all night. It's 60 and it looks gorgeous.
It looks like butter.
Yeah.
So The Witcher 2, like 60 FPS. Oh, it totally looks like a sci-fi original movie.
Well, I understand where there is a very different look that comes from having a 60 frames per second game than there is a 30 frames per second game, but I don't think that they would trade that solely for cinematic value.
No,
especially with everything that's going on right now, it doesn't make too much sense. And like Jeremy said, it's not a movie; it's a video game.
And movies work differently.
Live footage looks odd when it's shot, over 24 FPS. But the thing is, this is not live footage.
Right.
It's movement. Especially in first-person games, where you're supposed to be looking around and having quick head snaps. That's not how the human normally sees things moving around them. So It doesn't. That argument that we don't see more than 30 frames per second. It's just illogical.
You get more input lag when it becomes less than 60. You're in control of the camera, like you were saying earlier, so it looks more unnatural when you have 30 for a lot of these first-person games. And when it comes to movies, the reason why they're 24 frames per second, it's not just like they're moving at that speed. There's motion blur between the frames, so your eye. You trick your brain into thinking in filling in the pieces in between frames, so it works well. And there's a fixed perspective. You're not in control of that camera. You just see it how it's filmed. It's always going to be the same way no matter what you do.
I can understand doing cutscenes in under 60, 30. I mean,
sometimes,
doing that would
but
make sense.
Even that kind of like it seems awkward to me.
But it's unnecessary if you're going to try to push, 60 for all the active scenes. It doesn't make sense to cut down or cut back at the cutscenes.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I just thought this was kind of a funny.
Unless you're just, cheap.
Yeah,
I mean,
honestly, I wish all games that I played were 60 frames a second. I'm not just saying that, to kind of jump on the games feel better when they're at 60 frames a second. It's
objectively.
Objectively, yes.
But it's not to say that there's no game. If it's 30 FPS, it's a bad game, and there's no way I could play it.
At all.
Yeah, and to be honest, or the Order 18, I can't even fucking remember that fucking title. The Order, it looks really cool. Like, it has a really cool theme to it. And when I saw the gameplay footage, it looked actually pretty cool when I looked at it. But I know when I play it, it's just gonna feel odd, and it's the way it feels and the way it plays that matters, not the way it looks that matters. And that's what it comes down to. The discussion is 60 FPS feels better and it plays better on top of looking better. It's not, but looking better is the lowest part of that argument. It's just about feeling better and having little to no input lag when you're playing.
And I play Uncharted games, and I think they look plenty cinematic just the way they are.
Right.
I'm not sure what frames they run at.
They're 30s.
They're at 30.
Yeah, they were 30.
But I think it's more of the content that makes it cinematic rather than the frames per second presentation.
Right.
That really does it. I'm waiting for the developer who says, you know what, we're releasing this game at 10 frames a second because it looks fucking cool. And it's all choppy like that.
Oh, well, that's
So
Arkham Knight behind closed doors.
Oh, wow. Wow, good job.
Oh, man. But, I don't know. It's just, they just need to stop trying to lie to consumers and like gamers, because gamers know, and of all people, fucking developers know like the difference between 30 and 60 FPS, because they know more about making video games than any of us in this fucking room.
I'm not saying that they're necessarily lying. I don't want to claim.
But this isn't the first time we heard a developer say.
Oh no, definitely. But I mean, it's definitely a curious situation when a game looks like that, and then all of a sudden you're making excuses why you never attempted to get to 60 frames a second, when the valid reason could simply be, look, this game looks really nice, we can't get to 60 frames a second. So, I mean, that could have been the excuse, and people could have just accepted it.
Right,
So,
exactly.
It's a curious situation. All right, so let's take our next break. When we come back, we're going to talk some more about the possible games we'll be seeing at E3. I'm taking questions from the Twitch and YouTube audience. And yeah, so stick with us. When we come back on the other side, we'll have more of the 1985 FM podcast. All right. All right, so let's see what we got in the question land.
Human eye can see up to 72 hertz. Anything above that is feedback due to the interactive nature of video games.
That's not. You can't quantify the way that eyes work.
I mean,
eyes work by motion and light.
I mean, yes, there are certain limits to what we can see on a screen.
The human eye can't tell.
Hertz is way beyond what we're even.
It is,
in
yeah.
games, yeah.
The human eye can't tell the difference between 1080p and 720p.
Everyone knows that.
I mean,
I was playing
that's
Watch Dogs earlier. I was like, this looks like shit. I put it at 1080p. I was like, this looks like better shit, but I can't tell the difference. It looks so much better, but I can't tell the fucking difference.
I don't understand.
Have you guys been playing on Ultra on PC?
Yeah. Mine doesn't run it quite as good as I need it to, so I had to drop down some of the settings to get it to run.
Oh, for Watch Dogs, you're saying?
Yeah.
I couldn't get to run it like.
Watch Dogs isn't really optimized that well on PC.
Yeah.
Well, no, you have to have at least a 3 gig graphics card if you want to run Ultra.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you, because I think you have a 3 gig graphics card, Randy.
Oh, I do, but still, it's just I just don't think it's optimized that well.
It's not, no.
Using like the anti-aliasing at its top tier, it says you only need like 2 gigs of GPU RAM, and which I more than have, and it gets really like into like the 20 frames per second kind of area.
Yeah, they're looking into fixing that. Even though they said like, oh, we have these optimized drivers for it. And
Are you on AMD then? Or
oh yeah, because you have AMD. That makes it even worse. Because on NVIDIA we're still having problems, but AMD is having worse problems, and then AMD just called out NVIDIA again, saying like, you know, their whole physics bullshit is like ruining the games industry.
Mm.
Which is like, you know, it's an argument that's been tossed around a lot of times, but I don't know.
I
I
haven't
like.
had any issues with my 770s, so
Oh man, I'm
I mean, it's
totally.
still the game runs without almost out any hitch, but I just can't get to like peak performance kind of thing.
It doesn't, and you're not missing out too much
You
when it
really
gets to
are not.
peak performance.
Yeah,
It's not gonna automatically turn into E3 2012 anytime soon, unfortunately.
I'm just waiting for someone to do like a texture pack and when they mod the shit out of the game.
Someone did put sweet effects on it, and it looked a little bit better, but it's it's not it's not a full blown texture pack or anything, so we'll see.
All right, so what do we got for question stuff here?
Got some E3 questions that are good, like Asparagam, whatever his name is, has two. What makes those insiders say Microsoft will win E3? Is it because of rumored third-party exclusive? Is there more to it? And that's something you could go into, and yes, that's why.
Okay, you're throwing these inside the document?
I'll toss this in the document, yeah.
All right, good man.
let's see.
These are good E3 questions.
Predictions for their exclusive
Mm,
Shenmue 3.
I've heard that a couple times now. I do not think
No,
that's
that's
ever
not
gonna fucking
happening.
happen, dude.
If you say it 3 times in a mirror, it happens.
That's such a fanboy pipe dream.
and Sega's trolling it, because in Sega All-Stars Racing,
They are. They totally are.
It has the Shen 3 license plate. You're like, you fuckers. You know what you just did to people? And then they just renewed the trademark in Japan, and people are like, oh, they renewed the Shenmue trademark. It's like, no. The law in Japan says you have to renew your trademark every 10 years. This is a routine 10-year renewal.
So you can hold on to your IP.
Yeah.
Jeremy, just let me dream for a second. God damn it.
I want to work inside a ramen shop.
I heard the rumor if you say Shenmue in the mirror 3 times, it does get announced at E3.
God damn it, I want to catch cherry blossoms.
Oh, God.
I still don't know what the fuck I was doing in the game. Just walking around being an asshole.
Welcome to most games.
No, but Shenmue, it was like even more. I was just walking around being an asshole. Hey, you wanna play this gambling game? Hey,
Can you tell me where I can find some sailors?
That's like at the beginning of the game, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking where I can find some sailors.
I was so fucking confused. I was playing this game. I'm like, what the fuck do people like this game for? I'm totally confused. Fucking Sega.
All right, I added 3 questions there at the bottom of the doc, which will give
Cool.
us good discussion of those 3.
Yeah. Let's see what else is in the World Wide Web.
I'm hoping for a new Rock Band game. I think that's going to be in the works. Right?
Didn't Harmonix like
That
laid
sounds
off like a
realistic.
million people? Harmonix like laid off like 29 people and replaced
Yeah,
their CEO.
Yeah, they did. I know, that's why that was the joke.
Man, you need
I'm
to
gonna
get better
stop
at your
trying to make
delivery.
jokes. Fuck
Your
me.
delivery is off, I think. That's a problem. I don't know. We need to take you to improv class. That seems like something that someone from Portland would go and take in their spare time. Improv classes.
Why is that just a Portland thing?
It's totally a Portland thing. In between, like, how to brew your own beer classes. And
You're
meet and greet
just jealous you can't make your own beer.
and meet and greets at the vintage bookstore. I really want to live in Portland now. Not gonna lie. I make fun of you.
Do you
'cause
realize how much better our music scene is? Like, Lawrence, do you even know the music scene here?
better than LA?
In a lot of cases, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I haven't been to Portland, so can't really say. A lot of Northern California stuff is pretty good too.
It's probably not as big as LA, of course.
Yeah, that's the thing I was thinking about.
But yeah,
More varied. Yeah.
it is. It's much more varied, and there are a lot of venues that they'll go from
There's a lot more
heavy metal one day to rave the next day to folk the next.
I mean, there's places like that here in LA too, but I feel like Portland probably takes care of their artists a lot better than LA would ever do.
Yeah, as far as the like intercommunications between artists,
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
Everyone out here is just at each other's throats. It's just like no matter how big or how small like each genre scene is, like everyone's out to get someone else, you know.
What are you talking about?
The music scene here compared to Portland.
Oh yeah.
It's just like why? Like what's like it's like a high school clique. You know.
Everything
Yeah.
in this fucking area is a fucking click.
Uh,
No matter what you do.
I don't know. It's worse, LA or Orange County. A lot of times.
I don't know. I think there's a
They're all
lot
blurred
more
together now.
there's a lot more at stake in LA. There's actually the talent actually
Right.
goes to LA and Orange County. I don't think you get as much talent in the music scene. Like everyone knows if you're gonna make anything of yourself, you have to be in LA as far as music.
Mhm.
So I think it's just a lot more at stake in LA. And that's
Yeah.
where click mentality comes.
And then you get a bunch of people coming in from all over the world coming to LA on top of people who are born there
Right.
trying to make it. It's a nightmare.
All right, we ready to do this?
Ready. Do those 3 questions or and then we'll call it
We're
night?
gonna do those 3 questions. I'm gonna start off with the business because I forgot to talk about business.
Business? What business?
We gotta talk about the website.
It-
Oh, cool,
Talk about
business.
iTunes, obviously, and Shout Engine.
Yeah, let's do that thing. Do that thing you said.
Okay, so here we go. Starting up a show again.
Show.
Starting up the show again. We're gonna show. We're gonna show. Where's that screen for the show? All right, and we are back. Before we move on to questions for this week, a couple quick things. In time for E3, we're going to have the new 1985 FM site up. We've been working on it for the last week, what feels like the last year. And it should be ready in time for all our E3 coverage. Also, we moved our RSS feed to Shout Engine. So if you go to shoutengine.com/1985FM, you can find our podcast, our whole archive, in fact. Other than that, go to iTunes, please. If you enjoy the podcast, rate us, leave a comment. It helps us out tremendously. And other than that, is there anything I'm missing as far as business?
Nope. Click that follow button.
I don't
It
think
helps us
Click
out.
the follow button. Click the follow button. We like when people actually know we're coming on. We like having you guys in the chat like tonight. So
Get hyped for the new site.
Oh, it looks
it's so
sick.
hype. It almost looks like a website instead of a fucking cheese blog.
Cheese blogs are cool too.
Cheese
So-
blogs are cool too, but
You gotta progress.
you got to eventually. All right, so let's get into what questions we have here for the week. And the first
Questions.
question we have from, and I'm sorry if I butcher your name, Espandagrim. Espandagrim. Espadagrim? Espadagrim. Yeah, let's say that.
That's a
Espadagrim.
cool ass name.
It is a cool name. I want to know what it means. What makes some of those insiders say that Microsoft will win E3? Is it because of the rumored big third-party exclusive, or is there just more of it?
They're giving out free
The answer
Xbox
is
Ones.
yes.
No,
Okay.
no, that's not it. No. Well, yeah, it's
That's it.
There's a big third-party exclusive that will be announced at Microsoft's press conference, and it's a combination of that and what Microsoft is doing going into the press conference. Because Microsoft right now is like a cornered animal. I mean, they have to come out with all guns blazing and basically back a truck up of games and pour it out on the stage. So what? There's that third-party exclusive, and there's also a change in messaging, in that they kind of burned the Yusuf playbook from the Xbox One reveal where they said everything you don't say to gamers, and instead they'll be running plays from the Jay Allard playbook from back in the day. So yeah, there's a lot of there's that big third-party exclusive. There's also some first-party stuff they'll be showing, and it's just some really cool games that they've been sitting on. I don't know for sure. We might see a new IP. There's a internal Microsoft developer called LXP, and at one point they had more than 30 developers on the team working on a new IP. But that being said, the same thing was true of Black Tusk. They were working on a new IP. Now they're doing Gears of War. So who knows if LXP is still doing their new IP or what? We might see their game there.
Shanghaiist.
Oh
man.
Shanghai.
Moment of silence, please.
For Shanghaiist?
For Shanghaiist.
All right. And we're done.
Okay.
All right. And what about Shenmue?
No. It's not happening.
Wait, Jeremy, I have a question for you for Microsoft. How many more panic buttons does Microsoft have?
Oh my God.
I think their big panic button is being hit for this E3, and you're going to see at their conference the result of what hitting that panic button does.
This is kind of like their Hail Mary pass on this one. They have to come at this one big.
This is the follow-up to their Burning Bridges tour.
I like that. Next question. Most are saying that pretty much a majority of Sony's announcements will be for 2015. Can Microsoft match that 2015 lineup?
Okay, here's how awesome fall 2015 is going to be. On Microsoft, you're going to have Halo 5. On Xbox, on PlayStation, you're going to have Uncharted. You're going to have Halo going up against Uncharted, and then on Nintendo, you're probably going to have Zelda. So you will not have seen I actually probably you have not seen a showdown like that since like the original PlayStation Saturn days in the N64, where you had the PlayStation and Saturn and N64 all out in '96, where you had you had Mario, Crash Bandicoot, and Knights all going up against each other, and it was a huge showdown. So 2015 is going to be insane.
And that's not to mention a lot of the games that we're going to see at E3 that are going to be set for release either in the holiday of 2015 or maybe perhaps the summer of 2015. Obviously, there's going to be 2016 games. And not to forget the 2014 games that we already know are coming.
A lot of the big shocking reveals are going to be for next year. Right. The ones that are going to cause NeoGAF to melt, their servers to crash. Those are going to be the 2015 and even 2016 titles. This year there'll be big stuff. I mean, a lot of the big stuff is actually getting announced prior to E3, and you're going to see. Like on Microsoft, you'll have probably the Halo collection. You'll have Sunset Overdrive. You'll have Forza 5, and then all the third-party stuff like Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, and all that. I think for the most part, it's like the holiday lineup's kind of already set, and then you'll get all the 2015 stuff at E3. There'll be one or two surprises for this year, but most of the stuff is going to be for next year. And there's going to be more HD remixes as well this year. So people got to get used to those because they're cheap to do and they sell.
Yeah, I mean that's the big thing. This E3 pretty much represents what we're going to be seeing, I think, in 2015 as opposed to coming out the holiday season of this year. So we're going to see a ton of games just loaded into next year, which is exciting. I mean, it gives you a good reason to buy these systems in a year. But right now, I mean, there are a handful of great games coming down the end of this year. Like we're talking about Arkham, Inquisition, Far Cry, Call of Duty. What else am I missing? There's a few other things. But, I mean, there's still a lot of good games coming out towards the end of this year. But 2015 looks like the year to actually really consider buying this systems if you haven't already done it. Yeah,
and I've been telling people today that based on if Uncharted shows up, which it probably will, if you don't already have a PS4 by next year, you will once you see Uncharted. I mean,
everything they've been saying has been pointing to this game is going to look shockingly good.
Faces are going to melt next Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Indiana Jones style.
Yes, you'll be like Toth in Indiana Jones.
Oh, I'm ready.
And just the next question from Mr. Codeman, regular on the show. I'm wondering if we'll hear more about Rockstar's PlayStation exclusive Agent at E3. That game did go silent like The Last Guardian.
The interesting thing is, it was a trademark or something that Rockstar just renewed for Agent. So it's possible we're going to see it. And they did say they will have a multi-platform next-gen title this year. So it's entirely possible it could be Agent. It could be Red Dead 2.
Right.
I hope it's Red Dead 2.
Yeah, I think a lot.
Or
of
it could be
people
Table
hope
Tennis
it's
2.
going to be this year, the Rockstar Table Tennis 2. That would be such a disappointment.
bully.
As much as I like that game, that'd be such a disappointment. I want Red Dead. If they bring out another Red Dead.
Oh yeah, I really want a Red Dead sequel.
I want to see.
Or a Red Dead HD remake. Like, I don't even care at this
I'll
point.
take that. Yeah.
Just anything, Red Dead.
I'd take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it's good. So let's get. Oh yeah, and I totally forgot. Goldfinger was mentioning. We still have Destiny coming out this year.
You know, it's like everyone is. You know, their fanboys get so much on first-party exclusives. I mean, the Mario Kart's probably one of the best games this year, and it's a first-party game.
Right.
But some of the more exciting games, especially in the fall, are multi-platforms, like Destiny, Batman, Assassin's Creed. Those sort of games are the real exciting games that a lot of people are going to play. And those are the games that are going to be the top sellers. I mean, if you look at the MPDs, it's always the multi-platform stuff that sells the best.
Yeah, this is early in the game. They kind of, I mean, there obviously are the exclusives that you kind of spend to get people instilling faith in your console. But right now, like the big games are multi-platform games, obviously. Let's talk about some of the things we want to see at E3. Now that we're only about a week away, I'll start off. I really want to see a new Fallout. I think there's a possibility Bethesda has something coming up here. I would like to see a new Fallout game.
Well, they have some announcement lined up at least.
Yeah, actually, Brendan, you want to pull up that Twitch lineup?
Yeah, I will find that.
Obviously, EA has one unannounced game. I'm assuming that's going to be Battlefront.
Well, Battlefront's technically announced. Could be the Star Wars game.
13-14.
13-14, yeah.
13-14, yeah. 13.5.
None of the EA stuff, I think, and I don't think any of the EA stuff is exclusive. So people thinking Mass Effect's going exclusive are idiots.
No, that's crazy.
No. Mass Effect became the definition of multi-platform when they released Mass Effect 3 on the Wii U.
Okay, so here's the Twitch schedule. On Monday, we're gonna they kick off everything with Xbox's stuff in the morning. Then EA has EA has a special event. Battlecry has that's Battlecry? Don't know what that is.
Just give us what about the unannounced games? Let's go through those.
Ubisoft, Witcher, Dying Light, no. Deep Silver has their thing.
That's probably a Homefront.
That'll be Homefront, yeah. Inquisition. Ubisoft has an unannounced title.
Watch Dogs 2. That was a joke. Watch Dogs 2 ready to go.
Dude, they just bring out Assassin's Creeds like every 6 months, so I would not be surprised.
But you know the great thing about Watch Dogs is they released it in the summer, and they're saying it's like their top-selling game. It was really smart to release it now when there's nothing out, so people, learn, like, they could have Watch Dogs be their summer open-world game, and then Assassin's Creed be their Christmas one.
Okay, on Wednesday,
too much power.
Warner Bros., Crytek, and Sony have all have unannounced title. SCEA actually has 2 unannounced titles on the schedule at 3 and 3:15. So
I'm feeling like that at the point that this was released, that Homefront's probably that unannounced title at that point.
Well, that's the Deep Silver one.
Oh, is that?
No, that was
what were the Crytek one then?
This actually just came out today.
The Crytek one might actually. You think that's a Microsoft exclusive right there?
I still think that's Homefront. I don't think Crytek's doing 2 things.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's possible, but yeah, and then there's 2 unannounced games
knows?
for Sony. I'm curious what the chat thinks that we'll be seeing that we haven't
Well,
heard
one
of.
person says Prince of Persia. Prince of Persia was actually shown in 2012 behind closed doors. When
Really?
Ubisoft unveiled Watch Dogs, the bullshit version of Watch Dogs,
Right.
they also showed Prince of Persia behind closed doors, and at that time, there's been stuff like leaks about the Egyptian game Osiris. Well, when they showed Prince of Persia behind closed doors, that was actually Prince of Persia. It was actually called POP0. It was like a Prince of Persia prequel type game. So they showed Prince of Persia a few years ago. So I don't know if that's something that'll be an exclusive. It's something we might see this year, but I'm not convinced it's the big exclusive. There's other rumors about the big exclusive.
Right.
On Thursday, Nintendo, Square Enix, and Ubisoft and Tecmo Koei all have unannounced titles on the schedule as well.
All right.
So Tecmo
Something from
Koei-
Nintendo, maybe? Who
Oh,
knows?
Tecmo Koei was going to be beach volleyball Xbox One.
All right.
God. Oh no. Extreme.
You know how much of a
Ninja
real
Gaiden.
possibility that is?
Itagaki returns.
I wish Itagaki would return.
Oh man, those HD boot physics, next gen boot physics,
505
was
game?
amazing.
Oh,
Or
don't
something?
505 games. That recoil.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't.
Kevin Dent's recoil.
I really would like to see another Red Dead. I would I hope that's the next.
They
Rockstar game.
2K hinted at it, because they said it's a permanent franchise for them.
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking about Take-Two?
Yeah, Take-Two. They were talking to their shareholders and they were saying like some franchises go away, but others are permanent. And Ray said Red Dead's one of the permanent franchises.
Yeah, I remember
I
that.
would be crazy for it not to be. I think you kind of put LA Noire in the other category. And
Oh,
Red Dead.
that's one thing we might be seeing.
You think so?
3. Not L.A. Noire, but Team Bondi's game, the Horror of the Orient.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that. It's been so long since we heard about that.
It might get a new title, but
Probably.
we might be seeing that at E3.
Yeah, that's possible. Let's see if there's anything else going on in the chat here. Zelda on Wii U is my most anticipated game at E3, says Mr. Codeman.
Mm-hmm.
Will Epic Games be at
Yeah.
E3? Yes,
Yeah, Epic's there.
definitely.
Yeah.
Epic will definitely be there. I think.
They're gonna have their mobile game, and Unreal Tournament will be there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Tournament going to free to play. That's a big thing. We know we haven't really talked about that on the show, and then them.
It's not free to play. It's just free, Randy. Get
I'm
that
sorry.
right.
Free.
It is free to play, and then if you want to buy modifications to the game, it becomes money. It's free to play. Let's see here.
Pay
what
for
else?
hats.
Yeah, pay.
We're going for a pay for hats service.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
The pay for hats model, the famous Valve pay for hat model.
I love it.
Any word on what Ouya is going to be bringing to their conference?
Oh
Now
man.
just go to the Google Play Store and look at the new Android games. There it is.
Well,
There you go. That's
they
everything.
just got they just had something actually added to their store. Was it was the
Flappy
Kickstarter
Bird.
one? What?
It's
Flappy
what?
Bird?
No, they didn't get Flappy Bird. They got Banner Saga? No,
No.
All right.
it was the other one.
The other one.
Yeah, you know
Oh,
the other
yeah.
big game? You know, come
Candy
on.
Crush Saga?
No, it was Broken Age. I don't know why I
Broken
keep
Age.
confusing
Oh,
the
wow.
name.
All right. I think that pretty much. I don't think we can come up with anything else. That'll call us a close this week. Obviously next week. I'm not sure how we're going to handle the shows next week since Jeremy and I'm not sure what time you're getting back from the show. If we're going to be doing anything on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday night as far as shows.
Well, Monday is Microsoft's early in the morning.
Mhm.
I mean, I'd be back in time for the show on Monday for sure.
I think I would too. If not, I'll figure out a way to get online and make.
That's
the
what
show
people were
happen.
asking about Sony. I'm like, Sony's at 6:00, and
Yeah.
In the morning?
no,
No,
in
no,
the
at night.
evening. It's at
Jesus,
night.
that's so
It's
bad.
six- no,
Most senses are terrible.
No, and it used to be in the morning, and it's at 6 o'clock at night. And sure, the people who have hotels there and they're being shuttled to the press conference from the hotel, that's great for them. But for people who live in the area and actually have to drive, you do not want to drive around downtown. You don't want to be leaving downtown LA even at 7 o'clock at night because you're gonna be sitting in your car until midnight.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But I mean, it's smart on them because they're the last thing you hear about for that day, and they're the thing that you're thinking about leading into the first day of the actual show.
They want you to dream about the announcements that they unveil.
PlayStation Now, the new motion controls they have coming for PlayStation 4.
Oh God.
Fun stuff. So obviously we're gonna have a show hopefully on Monday if myself or Jeremy aren't here.
Sometime next week.
Nathan will
That's
probably take up hosting duties, and Lawrence will handle the production.
Unless something catastrophic happens on the way back from LA, I'll be here Monday night, and we'll probably try to maybe work something out to maybe do some kind of video stuff at the show. I mean, it's really guerrilla style, but we got smartphones, and we could film video and live stream and stuff.
Plus we're going to have the DSLR and everything. So I mean, we're definitely feeling whether it'll be live, I don't know, but there'll definitely be coverage that we're going to be doing at the different and stuff.
Excellent.
So okay guys, that's it for us this week. Remember our show comes out every Monday live on Twitch at 9:30 Pacific Standard Time, or more like 9:38 depending on how much work's left to be done.
9:38 just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, 9:30 feels right, but 9:38 that actually ends up being right. And then the audio version of the show comes out every Tuesday on 1985fm.com. Visit the site in this next week as we're going to be having the new site come up. Tell us what you think of the site. We've been spending a lot of time and effort on it. So, other than that, I'm Randy Legiudice. Thank you to Jeremy Conrad.
See you.
Lawrence Lawson. Lawrence is dead.
You didn't say my name. I didn't hear my name said at all.
Sorry, Lawrence, you can go again.
Lawrence Lawson.
Click that follow button, please.
Yes, very nice. And Brendan O'Connell.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks again, guys, and see you again next week for another episode of the 1985 FM podcast.
Goodbye. I am gonna go and keep on doing trigonometry.
Are you though?
I am, and then I'm gonna play. There's no R&B song to that, unfortunately.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You have your mission.
That's what we're gonna do next week when we can't do the podcast.
Yeah.
Randy, is this your
Randy, we don't need you.
Yeah, Randy, is this your first E3?
Yes.
Okay. Convention center. Don't try if you're going to be driving into the center on Tuesday. Don't try to park under it. There's actually a parking garage at the the south end of the convention center. You're usually able to get a spot in.
Okay. So is parking a total bitch?
Sometimes it can be, but if you get there early enough, you can get in that one at the south end of the convention center. It's like right as you come off the 10, basically. There's a parking structure right there. And then I have no idea where they're going to have the badge pickup this year. I don't think you can do it on Monday, but I don't even want to go downtown.
I think you can do it on Monday.
Yeah, but I don't want to go downtown on Monday. I'm just going to leave USC and come right home.
I see.
USC is like, they say you should be there like by 8:45 to check in.
What time are you planning on getting there?
I'll probably be there by 8:30.
All right. Yeah.
So,
yeah, I'm assuming there's going to be a fucking gaggle of assholes there, so I want to try to get there a little bit earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Does that mean you're going to have to wake up before noon?
Yeah, fucking hell, dude.
You're going to see Arthur Guys walking in with his tissues and lotion.
Oh, wow. I'm going to say Jeremy sends his regards. You heard me. You heard me, guys.
Jeremy and Randy, do you think I should drive down there and get drinks?
Yes.
At the party. I think I should.
After the party, there's the after party. You should definitely come because I think I'm going to be hanging out after at least a couple of those nights.
I don't know where Sony's party's going to be, but I know enough people at SCEA that I could like, hey, can you get me a party pass?
Right.
The Sony party is the big one always. I mean, it's the one
Really?
you never get into. I mean, that's like the golden ticket at E3 is the Sony party every year.
It's the dream.
I mean, if 2K.
I mean, at one year they had Michael
Jackson.
Jackson. Well, they wouldn't have him now, but one year they had Michael Jackson at it. So
What?
Jackson gonna be there
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah, you
I
never
hope
know.
so.
the hologram.
Holograms
Holograms,
are.
Michael Jackson, and Tupac will be there too. Can't wait. Yeah, I mean, I would like to go out and do something there. I'm gonna be in a revved up mood, so I'm gonna want to hang out and have a good time.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that.
So it's
Probably.
fun. It's like it's hard to do. I don't know if I'm gonna bring my backpack or not. But the funny thing to do would be like wrestling style signs to hold up in back of the like the the Polygon or Polygon live stream behind their window.
I'm gonna hold up a sign saying
a big
Snack Taku.
$750,000 check with Microsoft's name on it.
Oh my
Oh god.
Just troll them. They'll love it. But yeah, I'm pumped, man. Yeah, you should come down and hang out with us.